It is my distinct pleasure to introduce Emily Nolen, our student commencement speaker, to you today.
Thank you, Trustee Coates. Thank you, Trustee Coates, for that introduction. Welcome to the commencement ceremony for the School of Science and Health. My name is Emily Nolen, and I'm graduating from the nursing program. I am honored to speak on behalf of my graduating class. I am sure that many of you, like me, can look back and pinpoint defining moments in your life that have led you to pursue a career in health science or a healthcare pathway. If you could ask my 5-year-old self what I wanted to be when I grew up, I most assuredly would have said a baby doctor. And that did not change until I finished my first freshman year in college, which was a lot longer ago than I would like to admit. I'll be honest and tell you that when I was younger, a young adult, I struggled with school. I grew up having a dream and a plan, and when that didn't happen, I floundered. I changed my major every fall semester, including my senior year, and even at 22, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And it wasn't until recently that I found my direction and realized that I could still pursue my childhood dream. My passion for medicine was reignited when I was cared for by a nurse midwife during my first son's birth. Through all the trials and joys of my pregnancies, I found a deep, abiding passion for women's health. I have been blessed to be a stay-at-home mom for a decade, raising my 2 boys, Remy and Riker. But when I had my not-quite midlife crisis, asking myself what I wanted to do with my life, I knew that I wanted to be in healthcare, and I realized that nursing was the best way for me to reach my goal. I plan to further my education and pursue an advanced degree in women's health. Many of us have children, and I would just like to take a moment to recognize and thank the family and friends who have stepped in and helped us with childcare during classes and clinicals. It truly does take a village, especially while attending school. I would like to say a special thank you to my in-laws, Mike and Carol Kilpatrick, and my neighbors, Jan and Chuck Rutke, for watching my children. I would not have been able to do this without your unwavering support. I would also like to recognize all of the spouses, partners, families, and friends who encouraged and embraced all of us as we pursue our path at College of Southern Maryland. Without our support systems and their dedication to our success, we would not have been able to achieve all that we have. To my husband, Brad, thank you for being a constant encourager and picking up the slack when I was frantically cramming for exams or preoccupied with studying. Your cooking skills have definitely improved over the last 2 years. Classmates, the first day of class, you probably did not realize that who you sat next to would turn into a lifelong friend. Through all the study sessions, lectures, labs, clinicals, and more than likely some tears, our lives have been changed for the better because of the friendships we have made. I know that I would not have survived nursing school without the group of ladies I have made friends with. They were a constant source of encouragement, not just with school, but with life as well. To the many professors who have dedicated their careers to teaching us to think as healthcare professionals, thank you. Teaching is more often than not a thankless job, but we recognize your passion for science and healthcare, and we are better for it. We will be better healthcare professionals because of the standards you have set. The desire to see us be successful is apparent in the time and energy you have given us these past 2 years. I would also like to acknowledge and thank the many support staff that make it possible for CSM to function. From the maintenance, janitorial, and laboratory staff to the security and office personnel, thank you. Each of us have come from different backgrounds and different worldviews. Some of us have always dreamed of being in this field since we were children, Some of us have had traumatic events that have led us into healthcare. For some, this is our first career, and others, this may be the start of a second career. Some of us have gotten engaged or married. Some have had children during the last 2 years. There are so many differences that set us apart, but we all have one thing in common, and that is a passion for healthcare and helping people. All of our accomplishments within CSM's School of Science and Health have always meant that we seek to help people and that we are building careers that will impact the greater good. When I was asked to be your student commencement speaker, I realized that also meant that I had to offer you some lasting advice before we cross the stage and turn our tassels. So I want to share the following with you. I have been fortunate enough to travel internationally quite a bit, and I even lived in Ethiopia for a year, volunteering in an orphanage. That year changed my life. I was a naive 22-year-old living on my own in a developing country surrounded by a culture that was so complex and diverse, I had no idea what I had gotten myself into. I lived in the capital, Addis Ababa, with 5 Ethiopian women and 25 children. Besides the cultural differences, we did not speak each other's language at all. My worldview was blown wide open. I was able to visit a small mountain village outside of the city of Jima, where I had been the first white person many of the villagers had ever met or seen. The families lived in mud huts, and they walked to the nearest stream to get fresh water. But it was there that I experienced unconditional acceptance and a level of grace that to this day still humbles me to my core. Immersing myself and learning about another culture will always be a highlight of my life. Every single opportunity to travel has expanded my perspective and challenged me to grow as a person. If I can encourage you in one thing, it would be to travel and explore the world off the beaten path. Experience other countries as students, not as a tourist. Be open to learning new cultures and customs. I promise you it will expand your worldview and maybe even change some of your long-held perspectives. Be open to new experiences and strive for personal growth, as it will only benefit you in your chosen career. Imagine how much better the world would be if we just sought understanding and compassion as we interacted with others. C.S. Lewis said, "Hardship often prepares ordinary people for an extraordinary destiny." We can attest to the fact that college is hard, but it has also led us down this extraordinary path in a career serving others. We are on the precipice of something wonderful. This here is another defining moment in our lives. Tomorrow we will go forward along the path we have chosen and worked so hard for, but for today, let's acknowledge the success of a job well done. Our extraordinary journey starts now. Finally, as the great Maya Angelou shared, when you wish someone joy, you wish them peace, love, prosperity, happiness, all the good things. So, for all of you sitting before me, I wish you joy and all the good things. Thank you and congratulations.